Mi chikranga mai de kam thang ni jakko badale jaksang ko parang nga.
The next is she's a homemaker. She organizes her time very well.
Manggapan de anthang ni some ko na men rakhia aro sumsaka noktang na.
Then she prepares her home for stormy days. You know, when if there is a problem in the house, she knows how to sort it out.
Noktang ni makawawa laka gata wan ne kanirang rebao ko warang ko namat na gata tharira.
She is not selfish.
Wan thang na mamang chanchija.
She is strong and brave.
Wala na men belak kapaw nga aro kadong kapaw nga.
She is reliable.
O no pangsak naman na.
Ladies, you may not like this. She gives her husband peace of mind.
Wanda ko may chikara man na tani sige pa na tom mani gisko tom mani ko man na.
She does not keep on complaining and telling things into his ears. She gives him peace of mind.
Oh, may ko ba nage ne kanirang ko ba complain ka anirang ko onja sige pa na.
Okay? She brings respect and good reputation to her husband.
Wa tani sige pa na namen mandir aro nama kampo ka.
Then she is industrious. She's not sitting lazy in the house. And she is a loving mother.
Ora sumsaka aro derang na nokne mandirang na kasara.
I want all of you ladies for a moment just to think about all these qualities.
Ang aplak may chikmarang ko ya gun ramni ka man changchet ni china kata changchet ni ako nang nakinga.
And just see whether we have that.
Ani ni go atsumo enda ko gun rang donga madungja.
Okay. Now I'm going to talk about some examples from the Bible. Probably it was already said to you, but I'll repeat some of them.
Ang Bible ni golporang oni ko isirani gaman agana golporang agana singa hedan asmang yako agana ng namba dunga ha di ba agan henas kinga.
How many of you have heard of Deborah?
Nasimba ni sawa Deborah ni gaman kinaraha.
Okay. Who was Deborah?
Deborah ni sawacho.
She was a
Judge.
She was a judge, right? And she was the only woman judge.
Saksang amang necek bicara kagaba.
Okay. Now, although she was a housewife, she was a very loving and caring woman, she still found time to sit under the tree midway between two cities and listen to people's problems and solve their problems.
Noktang ni mandarang ko sumsak kingan, nagpuni mandarang na kam kaayangan, ndak matang sumayo, boja panganari angi sungsa sunggapan ni kanirang ko ical kayo na gata sumay dungan.
One day,
sao
God told her a message.
Isol kansa kata ko na ganaha.
For 10 years, the children of Israel were under the Canaanites.
Bonsi chikang na Israel na kanan o ongeng.
As you know, after Moses, Joshua, the children of Israel started going astray.
Moses ni jakmano, Joshua ni jakmano, Israel ngara uci bodong doang nakanga Israel ni chilangha.
So God gave her a very timely message.
Unon Israel somay kita namgapa kata ko una aganaha.
He told her, tell Barak that I want him to go up and fight against the Canaanite king and his army.
Barak ko agan bo, kanara absari ang takrakebo.
Take all the soldiers from Zebulun and Naphtali, tribe of Zebulun and Naphtali.
Zebulun ang Naphtali ni ma sumuni ko takrakaparang ko rumangbo ni kiitahan.
And take 10,000.
Hajar chikang siparang ko rumangbo ni kiitahan.
When Barak heard this message, he said, no, I'm not going up against that army.
But
if you come with me, maybe I will go. So the first time a woman went to war, And before going there, she told him, suppose you win the war, who is going to get the name?
Kana sanchichipi ya dakrikani amode sawa rasong ko manamenga.
It will be women.
Yan nichkra ungen.
They won't say Barak won the war, they'll say women. won the
Barak
war.
amahan ya akan jawan diba nichik amahan isakan din.
And sure enough, they went and fought.
When Ben Bebe omang yang omang dakrikaha.
God, as usual, almost gave the whole army to the children of Israel.
Tahu army sipai gemuk kon nasi place na manaha.
But their general, Sisera,
Diba saksang mang general donga sisira manggapa.
he managed to run away.
Ode kati jokang hana.
He ran and he was really tired by the time he reached the tent of Heber.
Tahu selain katang hani wa ten ko cangmadan tambu na sukujana gan lagi katang hana.
But Heber was not there. Heber.
Wa dungjana.
But his wife Jael was there.
Uni jeketa jail ngaba noko dungana.
And so she said, don't worry, I'll hide you.
Agan hana jajing nabi ang anak ko dunungin.
So she put a sackcloth over him, she gave him something to drink, and he lay there.
Ada mai ko barangani ko memang jajing nabi memang bostarang ci barang ci wamande ko pendak pahana.
And pretty soon he fell off to sleep.
Rakasanan bide tusi naskang hana.
He was so tired.
Namen ngaha dakrikani ngon.
After some time, Jael started thinking, who is this man?
Ada tani jamana jela chanchin ya mandir sawa.
Then she realized this is the enemy of the children of Israel.
Chanchin hadi iseng ni derang ni bobol ngana ni chanchi hana bia.
Heber and his wife,
Heber ada uni jikapa.
they belong to Zipporah, that is Moses' wife's family.
Tahu deh, Mose ni jikapa ni mahari rang ni Jipora ni mahari watsna.
So she said, I have to do something.
Oleh gang dia chanchin ang mai ko tak manang gen.
And so she went out, she took the big nail from the tent.
Tahu deh, bisung ni tambu ni ko gojol tak ko tak boleh ang hana.
And while he was sleeping,
Unis tusi matamo.
she hit the nail in the head.
Ada binis ko wa tak boleh ko gojol ci support hana.
And then the battle was won.
Jamana deh, wa dakrikani ara cian itu.
The only time women won the battle.
Tahu deh, wa samayo me cek malangan ya dakrikani yo ciga pamahana.
I want to tell you another story.
Ada orang yang pun golpu kan nak cuma nak sekinga.
Now, in the Congo,
Ada Congo
this is in Africa,
dan Afrika onga.
for a long time there has been war after war, inter-tribe war, and it was just a mess in that country.
Pangar uta bersilang nan dakrikani jamana dakrika wa mangi tribe ni jangan jat ni gisepo dakrikani kon dakrika uta bersilang nan dakrikana.
Different countries came and tried to sort the problem, but it just wouldn't get sorted.
Tentang asal ni mandai ni ba wa mangko namat na kita mana kamu keahanan di ba manjana.
For a long time, for years, the internal war dragged on.
Tahu deh, uta bersilang na ya sungin dakrikani na namen block beha.
Do you know what the women did?
Nak simang yang ni sekarang mai ko daka.
All the women got together and they said, we need to save our country.
Lak me cek marang thon dak kahanan dak kemang acimnya sung pude.
We don't care about tribes. We don't care about the tribes.
Nadi jat ni hadang jatra ni mak sabe jajing jana.
Let's do something.
Hayan cara mai ko batak nama.
You know what the women did?
Mai ni cek mai ko dak kahanan sung asyama.
They walked on the main street naked.
Tahu deh, main street so sangmatan lama bijang cio nagan deh sering to kahana.
People were shocked.
Mali raga yaun manahana.
TV news were clicking.
Tahu deh, TV rama news rama
It went all over the world.
Agasak kumat chinwa obosara naman na hana.
Finally, all the men got together. They said, "This is horrible. If our wives are walking like this is horrible."
Taon ni asara ngara aga nahan yan naman namjahani mga mi
So
asara
they
naman
said,
ko mga tensi hana.
let's solve this problem.
Hay jinga ni kanirang ko nama.
So they somehow got together and they sorted out the problem.
Taon de may daki mga damsan mangrumi mga ra. Ini kanirang ko.
Although it was only for a short time,
ya duktuk samay sumayo.
but it still solved the problem at that time.
Wan ini kanirang ko namat na tama na ha.
So you see, women are powerful.
Namat sinasang nama ni cikra ngara namun belag nang kaparang wa.
Now you remember the story of Abigail and Nabal?
Kasi mga Abigail nabani gulpo ko iskra ama.
Do you remember the story?
Iskra ama mga gulpo ko.
Okay. Now Nabal was a very ill-tempered man.
Nabala na may kau nang nakapa mandi watsam.
All the time getting angry.
La sumayong bede kau nang sasamaya.
But his wife was just the opposite.
Diba jika padi ini betul sekarang.
So one day when David was running in the mountains, running away from Saul,
Salsao Daud tara Saul na katro kenyan katro roing natengo.
he and his army were very hungry and thirsty.
Daud arang ni sipay lang ara namin okriha aro chirang ko nas kahana.
So he sent a servant to go and tell Nabal, please give us food and water.
Daud antang ni sipay lang ni ko di nabalo ni ko ringan ni ko chani lang ko bi ibo ni get watat tahana.
But Nabal really cursed the servant and he cursed David, and I mean he just used foul language.
Daud ni gay angon Daud ni sipay lang ko namin namgi jaga ba khatharang chi aga na hasaya hana.
One of Abigail's servants came running to her, who was sitting in the kitchen.
Daud Abigail ni lokko saksara katmay mo antang ni man nagutel thang na Abigail na aga na hana.
And he said, this is what your husband told David, who's going to be the future king.
Daud imbu Daud ni sipay na niki waha sini gutel di niki aga na ha namgi jako yan Daud na sini rajong na singa sim ukon niki aga na ha namgi jako ni aga.
So what did Abigail do?
Abigail na may kuda ka ha.
She prepared a big feast.
Daud Abigail na big pa alami ko dakna thari hana.
She got water, she got milk, she got everything and went to see David.
Chi lang ko dud lang ko niki plak chaani lang ko bang thari mang Daud chi riang na thari hana.
Now when she went and saw David, she didn't say, oh, I'm Nabal's wife, you know, in a very rude way.
Jeng selebia chaani ko thari riang aha. Oh, anga nabalo jikpa naman agan jahana.
She didn't do that. She fell down and worshipped and said, Lord, I am so sorry for my husband's behavior.
Yun degi may kuda ka hana. Daud chi ang may uko ola kinong oh ang namin ang sige ba ni kamna namin dugo nga kima kabo ni kima biyahana.
Please, if you see right, please accept this small gift that we're giving you.
Nga anam ni kensi mo ngode yang ni raba ko pa ko na ara chak pabo ni mga ra o na cha ani ram ko.
And she gave him the food.
O cha ani ram ko na o na.
And David was very impressed with how, peaceful and calm and courteous Abigail was.
Daud niki Abigail ni agan ko pa kata na namin Daud ko gisko na hatana. Tong ko pa kasing ko pa katarang chi una agan ani ara ini gisko samna ko man ha.
The next day Nabal had a party in his house.
The salsa ko pa de o mga party ko ataha alam ko dakaha.
And you know what happened to Nabal?
Nabal may ko ahan asang masima?
He was struck dead.
Wa siya chi duka ko man ha.
And do you know what happened to Abigail?
Abigail na may ha?
She became David's wife.
Wa Daud ni chikapa ha.
Because she was so sweet and, so well-mannered I mean, he was really taken up by this woman.
Mana Abigail namin sila aro namin mo kapakatan siya na sanggupak ma.
Then you know the story of Esther. I don't need to tell you that.
Na Esther ni golpo ko ba na sinang kanay mo ang agana ng jago
How she saved the Jewish people from the death decree.
ni ba jihuti rang ko siyang ni ko mani jat ko jokat ha.
What about Mary, the mother of Jesus?
Jisu ni magapa Mary ni gaman nasim Mariam ni gaman nasim kanay mo.
What kind of a lady was she?
May dakapa ni chika macam wala.
Was she well educated, belonging to a very good class family, all those things?
Mary namin siya magapa ni chagapa ni noktang ni mi chunga ma.
She was a poor, simple lady.
Wala naman kangal gata noktang ni ngaro simple lang mi chiksong ay.
And so humble.
Wala naman ang tangko onat na changa.
Let's see what she says in Luke 1:46 to 48.
Hay ang Luke oday sa kanina
46 to 48. Luke
Oh.
1,
Luke oday sa 46
48.
Luke oday sa so prido ko ni so precheto ni ha correct silari.
Okay.
46 to 48 no? 45, 46. Unon Mariam aganha angni janggi gedel ko tak nekinga aro angni janggi ang ko jokat kepa isolo kasoka maina wa nokol tangni unako niroka ha maina nibo daon tatal jasong pelakan angkwan singgepa entoke.
So it says, my soul magnifies the Lord, and my spirit rejoices in God my Savior, for he has looked with favor on the lowliness of his servant. Surely from now on, all generations will call me blessed.
Angni janggi gedel ko nak neken awang ni gisek angko jokat kepa
So
isolo
many
kasoka
examples in the Bible of women who made all the difference.
Sastro o dungtang golporang donga jen mi cekrang ci dungtang atani ko maknanirang golporang.
We're celebrating Good Friday and Easter. We are not celebrating, but the world is celebrating.
Agasak ci deke Jisu ni siya ni ko olakhi nahan deke ceng olakhi to kengan debat ceng deke olakhi ja.
Do you know how many disciples were there at the cross?
Sisole sa Kristo o nisning parang badi sak mungacam.
How many?
Badi sak mungacam nisning parang ara.
12. No, were they there at the cross when Jesus was dying on the
O
cross?
Jisu ni siya o pada sak mungacam na nisning parang Jisu ni siya o Jisu sakon ni siya o pada sak nisning parang mungacam na.
How many?
Pada sak mga
Said what?
who sawa.
John. Okay. But besides John, everyone had run away.
John na agre gemakan nisning bas rang katang tokaha.
But the women were there.
Diba mi cik tunga.
All the women were there.
Lak mi cik tunga tunga.
When he rose from the dead, who came running to meet him first?
Dan selalu dia Jisu siya na cakaton sawa ko bang naskan ba katanga.
The women.
Mi cik sa.
Again women.
Mi cik sa.
During Paul's ministry, most of the time, women helped him everywhere.
Paulis ki prakane samay bang matta changangon mi cik sa ko tak chaka.
Now, you know, you heard about a virtuous woman. What are the things that a virtuous woman is supposed to be like?
Agi sa kanang ba mi cik ngara madiginak na mangacem.
But how are we fulfilling the commission that God has given us?
Anjing ala isunyo gaman kam ko may digi machot chuso katinga. Sanchini bo.
So many times I see women in the clinic,
Bakbat sa nga nangang kliniko mi cik malang ko
10th time they're pregnant, 11th time they're pregnant, and I'm wondering, when does she have time to look after these children?
ang mi kliniko na ri bang pa sak cikeng di sarang sak cisa di sarang may takapa sumayo lagi bisa nang kumak ni may lagi noko ni lagi ngau ni ke mana ngah cancia.
I have a 38-year-old lady.
Anga bersih kula cicet orang apa ni cikun kah?
She's 11th pregnancy.
Wala cisha gapa sak cisha gapa okon nang
So
okon
when did she start having the first baby?
Pasal ko bias kan gapa bisa ko okon nang ha?
Must be way 14, 15 probably.
Aida bersih cibri cigetam nang ni ise po okon nang
And
ha.
almost every other year she was pregnant.
Bersih tian wa okon nang ha. Bisa ko
What
ba ha?
are we fulfilling when you're pregnant so many times?
Bagi bang bisa nang ko baan yo na ara mai ko ciso katinga.
Ladies, please answer.
Ni cikrang dia akan bode.
Because I'm just so surprised. You know, how are we going to serve the master if we're keeping on getting pregnant?
Anjara bersih dia okon nang bisa ba semua dia iso ni ngaman kam ko anjara mai ki ciso katinga.
He says we should be wise.
Wagana anjara singapa mai cilang nang
I'll ask these women who have 11 and 9 and all children, how many more children you want?
Jirangan bisa saksku ba sakceng sakci song ko parang ko. Bakit pa bisa nang ko nanganes nga?
I said, isn't 4 girls enough?
Ngasara kangago ito yan chunga ha.
No, one more.
Saksa man ko gen.
So I don't understand this.
Yo ko nga masina manja.
In fact, one lady was not even able to walk.
Ni cikar cikar ni nan manjing ha.
And I asked her, who is helping you in the house? You have 10 children in the house. Who's cooking? Who's doing the housework?
Na sakceng bisa rang donga sawa nang ko dakcake nga sawa songe nga chaninga ni as ha.
You know what she answered me?
Nun di ang namay hakan sa kana masima.
My eldest son.
Ang ni di panita dat kepa.
He's not even married, but he's doing the housework.
Ede dia ba ka aku ja mukni kam rang kangi di pun tak kepatinga.
What a shame. What a shame this is.
Yan may rang plek kacaan yo nga.
This is not what God intended.
Isolin na kita kani ko din ang nagtsa.
He wants us to be wise, to have a good family where we have enough time to do things for Him.
Isol dan cengko de singkapa mi cikrang ongani ko nang naka chunga gata kangi de dang na sumsakan ko chunga gata isol na kamna khaani ko wa nang
So
naka.
much so, these women, when I ask them, tell me the first child how old, second child, they can't remember.
Asang ha nang ni skang pa de ga para baita busyong ha guni ga de ga baita busyong ha ni sang isko dan ma ja.
This is not what God intended.
Edi isol ni maksong an ja.
He wants us to have a small family but good family where we care for our children in the best way.
Isol dan cengko chunga pa family ni warang ko na mes sak ni ro kani ko nang naka.
So you as ladies here, I want you to go back and take this message to your village.
Oni gaman ang ami cikrang ko na si mang iya nam ko pa kata ko
Or to your
mani
church.
songsadang ci ang mang iya ni gaman agami skill na ni ko nang
When you
mga.
see somebody burdening themselves with 7, 8, 9, you know, tell them to stop. Go and get family planning done.
Saksli sakchet saksku dagi baang ko parang ko na si mang di hospital ci ang ko na suni champengan ni lang ko takko ni mang
Most of these ladies come there dying to the hospital.
bang matta me cikrangan hospital me by
We
si
literally give them second life.
gani ko pa jangi thangna wasako de mo na na.
And when I tell the lady the next day that you were actually supposed to die,
Ang abisyon na kanahan adi siya ni nga sini
but God saved you,
ni isol sa na ko na jo katinga niya kan.
it doesn't make a difference to the lady at all.
Si mga kan yan bintang ichirang bintang beni ko na nga.
My heart really hurts to see that these women don't care at all that they got a second chance on life.
Wala kay mi ichirang na gini ko pa chang na jangi thangani ko gatal laki on thai ko parang san ay
When you get a second chance on life, don't you think you will go out and do things for Him?
gini ko pa chang na nga jangi ko ningo na ara ukhatangi isol na kambo kana siktuman.
Or we just go back to the village and do the same old thing.
Mana so muktangchi songtangchi ang imong apsan kun bakay gin ma.
This is not what God intended for us women.
Isol de ichirang kun deke takani ko nang nagchenga.
He wants us to be wise. He wants us to use our head.
Anjani tanong lang ko skor lang ko chanchina singe chanchina kata sungko nang nakinga.
If you see someone who's burdened, at least you as a woman, besides giving counsel, at least go and help her.
Nakaba mi chira ko niken si mo na chiri ang ino mang ni kanira ko niken si mo ode na uwa mang na agan ku patio ni bo.
I have so many ladies who say, I can't stay another day because there's nobody to look after the rest of my family in that village.
Ang adi no hospital naman dyan may nang ni gupen may barang ko isa gupen ako nilok na nga ang adi no hospital naman dyan akan ko para ko na.
And you can ask Dr. Paul how many babies die because the woman wants to go back to look after the rest of her family.
Dr. Paul ka naman again badita may check lang ang adi no dong hospital naman daw hangay ang plan ni gupen bisa nang hina nga ni
Don't
yung mga
you
resya.
It's a sin. Killing the baby, killing the mother, killing the rest of the family. I mean, is this what God intended for the family?
Hindi dakin man niya amsak je kam kaay mga bisa rang ba maga parang siya niya pabong jama.
So many times mothers don't care if the child is 1.2 kilo, let it die.
Jen sa bisa kini sa ataw ngahan wala siya han.
I said, at least keep the baby in the hospital. We will make sure that the baby becomes good. But they won't. They'll take it home and the next day the baby dies.
So nga bisa rang ko kini sa ataw parang ko hospital dunbu. Yako balakat kuwa nagija mano lokchir ambo ni tinga umang kaganan, di ba?
You know
mga
how
lokchir
it
ang bisa rang
hurts?
usya kaya.
You know how it hurts?
Yan tingko dukong ata.
That we don't care about the children that we're bearing even.
Jiko ang sangara bisa rang ko paat sang warang ko ba sangar sumsakja.
So many times I have noticed that even us SDAs, we don't even know that doing an abortion is wrong.
Bang sini ekmenis rangan bisa rang ko galani ara nam gapa sa ni mang masikujenga.
They think that it's not a life, so it's all right if I take Achixam or something and take out the baby.
Nga dong gapa bisa ko de ay ade jangi ko jana ni mga ajik sambura ay mang gala.
This is not what God wanted.
Ini dak ko di sila nang
A virtuous woman will not do this.
Sehingga pa gun nang gamay chikte ko dakjaw.
So I want you all to go back to your respective areas and tell women about this. Don't just sit in the house and say, my family, my food, my children.
Ani gaman na simang na sin suntang noktang chiri ang mga yarang ni gaman agan at agan bo.
We have to share this with all the women in the village, in the town, wherever we are.
So nga daw marang sungdun marang yarang ni gaman may chicks karang na aganen bo.
The other thing I've seen is women and families don't like to correct their children.
Basta ko ba dan sing may check lang ara antara ni dire nang ko kare kana ba ungara mao dal nagata.
So many times I've seen mothers and daughters coming to the clinic.
Basta ko ba din magpa aro din check clinic ko na di bagay.
13, 14, 15-year-old children during December.
December jarang si chikitam chikri bukan bagay.
They get pregnant.
Nide omara okanam dia.
And then they come to me and they say, we want to abort.
Yang semuanya iba makan. Jadi siya ko ganas kaya cemnya.
So I said, no, this is pap. I don't do this.
Oh ini pabong ngadi ko takca ni makan.
So why as parents we cannot tell our children to behave, stay in the house, don't run away and keep running after girls and boys, you know?
Ngayon anjing magapa nang ara sini de pantirang ko de cikrang ko pachi ko cikatro katro kiri ro itu dakat na nang jan di ba?
So
sad. Mata thom na nga. Yang jubang beni nga.
So sad to see that children are just wasting their life.
Ay bisa lang ara anta tani jangki tangani ko ngayon ri ate ngani gaman namin duk niyo nga.
What happens to the girls' life? Tell me.
Hindi kita kapami cikang jangki tangani ra
13 years having a baby.
Si cikitam cibrio.
Can you go back to school?
O mga school siyang ko nama.
Very hard.
Namin ding beni nga.
And what is the rest of your life?
Orang ni gapan bangki jangki tangani rumay again.
You keep having children, you keep aborting, you keep killing babies. Is that what God wanted?
Bisa manrorowe aro warang ko abortion ka ay chongmatan bisa gali tuang ko gina.
Don't do this.
Yako takpanami.
Please, women of virtue, please think about these things.
Yarang ni gumanan sang nami chansina na.
The other thing is, in your towns and villages and areas, do you have mothers who are struggling to look after their young children?
Na simang ni songrang ada tangi de drang rang ko sumsak na kada men struggle ka inga chongman jothon ka inga ni gumen asim nakama.
What do you do as women of virtue?
Singkat pa gungar ka ni chukungin na ara mai ko taka.
What does it say in Proverbs?
To iskiya nga mai ka na.
She opens her arms wide to go and help the needy and the poor.
Ni jakpa rang ko badale kangarang ko taksakan.
But all of us, we go in the house and lock the door and sit inside.
Di ba sing din nakan taksakan ni pa sing nokko na pemo dokat spring ngara nokko asungir waya.
Because it's none of my business.
Yadang ni dakan ja ni mga chansia.
This is not what women are supposed to do.
Naki ni iskra ngara takna namja.
So please, women, if you don't take back anything, at least take back this.
Gapan ako ang plama jabe yan katnama katako na simang angbo na simang.
How many of you women think you must reach your full potential?
Ang ibo chu gamko jakala matna na simang sawa-sawa rang skinga.
How many of you think?
Sawa-sawa chanchi niya ha.
Isn't it? Don't you all want to reach that ultimate place where you're a real woman?
Wow, duk maning ba nakabarang na sukangi nawa mga namgo pakamang kaasung na skinga ma.
These are some ways that are given in Proverbs, how you can be the real woman.
Ya tuis ki au mai ko gung nang ba ni chik ni kamrang mai ko kan hawarang ko takbo.
But what we all are lacking is the transforming influence that comes from God.
Isoni at ko betal dakhay ubeta ong atani ko manananga.
It's good to stand for the truth.
Bebe ko wamang na raang nang tama nang.
But our heart will not be fixed, it will not be established if we don't know Jesus.
Anjing Yesus Kristo ko ni jaude. Anjing ni katong thom jaude fix ong jaude. Anjing ara nama katong
Do you women have time to have personal worship?
Anjing ni chmarang na chimangara palthang thang isol ko olakiani ko ba ukod ni ko takinga.
Do you have time to have family worship?
Na chimangara nuktango nukumo isol ko lakini na ko takinga ma.
I think this is where we are all lacking. Not just you, it's me too.
Na simang sanong yan na simang gumakon dakon ng ini kamok nga anga ba nga na simang gumakan ya kam kan sing dakon ng nga.
I've seen so many children, they don't attend church.
Anga di sarang ni bakbata di sarang ni ronza iten ka ani ko nakja.
Because we don't train them to sit in church.
May na simang mangko ronza asong nagataranta.
So dear mothers, please train your children in the right way and they will not depart from the truth.
Ni gaman ma parang hay ansing gumakan ansing ni bisarang ko ranta ka na. Di takore wamang isolo ni ba ekang jawa. Bigyan ni ekang jawa.
Remember to tell your children the stories. Remember from Bible stories. Remember to go through the lesson study with your children.
Sasto ni kolporang ko aron bisang nila lesson ni kolporang ko warang ko agan na gata somay karabo.
So many times I ask children, what is the memory verse this week?
Bang bata sango na nga bisarang ko sa naso ni tali mga ni potrang mayanis nga.
They don't know
Maksija.
because mommy didn't teach them.
May na umang ni magapan skija.
How do you expect this child to stay in the church?
Hindi yung gitsi mo din na alaman ni kinang idin wadega pa ko tujao tungatani ko ng
Right from the time they're small, you can talk about the stories in the Bible.
Digi chonneng magtang sumayonin sa sumigol po lang ko agan bo.
Because by the time the child reaches 12 and 13, you think the child is big enough to manage by themselves.
May na bulsi chigini chigita mga hawde chu nga bulsi antang kung kontak na manay
They cannot manage by themselves if you don't train them up from this age.
Omang di sauli na umukoranta ka at jaude isuni na makatarang ski jaude.
Please, women,
jawa.
for us to become virtuous women, we need that transforming power of Jesus.
Anseng sehingga pa gunung nang bang ichigo ngade ndak parang ko ansengara kam kana nang nga bantang tangko na mata nang.
The song that girls sang, the two girls that sang, is such beautiful words.
Ya no sakani me ichigang ni normal bisa ni ang para namin nambe ga pa gitu nga.
It says the Savior is waiting to enter your heart.
Ndagya kana isola ni katongo na kita sengi dunginga.
Why don't you let him come in?
Na ara may na kita ni katongo na bana kita jenga.
There's nothing in this world to keep you apart.
Na mamong ba na ngoni ko ya gasa ko na ko ununi ko ikat sa China.
What is your answer to him?
Na ni una agan sa kanya ramaya.
Time after time,
Somay ni gamano, somay antion.
he has waited for you.
Nak na sing swinga.
And now he's waiting for you again
Tao ba nak na sing swinga.
to see if you're willing to open your heart.
Nak ni katonga na una oprak kama oprak jawa uko ni dunginga.
Because he wants to come in.
May nawara nak ni katongo nak naskinga.
Ladies, how long are we going to not let him come in? We have so much work to do in this section.
At ni chikrang na sing ni katongo na sing ni gitelisel ko na patang jawa ma.
We have to
reach
reach so many people here.
Tao bang ni chikrang na dunga.
Are we just going to come for soba after soba and not do anything in the village?
Anjing ada soba, wani kami soba na imang mangara nokci songciang ini mamang kampu kajo ma.
It's no use coming for soba if you're just going to go back and do the same thing.
Soba na rin, imang jiko sketch muko dakija, ang pili dungaya ninde.
It should touch your heart.
Nasa mini katong nako tang.
You should be on fire. You should be on fire.
Nasa mini katong nako chawat po.
If we are not on fire,
Nasa mini katong
our whole religion is lost.
nasa mini katong nako chaw jaw de nak ni torang janggi tangani o de gemaigin.
So today my plea is for women to give your heart to the Lord.
Kalau ang ni nasa mini akan ni mi cikrang nasa mini katong
Open your heart's door.
nasa mini katong duga ko oprak bo.
Let him come in.
Yari, ang sinig delisol napachina.
Sometimes the things he's going to make you change you may not like it.
Basta ko ba ni dungtang na, ang sabi dungtang na kam kaani ang sunang mutan na, ang
But
mutan
we
na ba?
need to change.
Diba, sindi dungtang ani ko nanginga.
Unless we change,
Ang
the work will not be spread to everybody.
ang sing dungtang jaskal, ang sini kam lang ara, susukupok naman jawa.
We need to serve him more.
Ang sing ara gatay lisol na,
If we are all going to be lazy women just having baby after baby is no use.
Siyempre, ang sing bisa mantay tay dungani ara, isol ni nakani na mauga, aro wa isol na
Please
naman jawa.
use your time to spread the word to everybody.
Nasi mini songsul nuksulang na namakatak.
Try to help women in simple ways. You don't have to go and give Bible study and baptism and all. Just simple things you can go and help a lady.
Bible ko oprak ke mandirang na Bible study na nangjan diba? Altua ko pa kamrang ko na wa mga dakchakanirang ko.
So I want to see how many ladies are willing to stand up and say, I'm going to change. I'm going to go back and change my family. I'm going to change my community that's around me. How many of you want to stand with me today?
May chikmarang sawa-sawa. Ang hani songtang chi noktang chi ang emang ang ni.
How many of you women?
I
want to see you all.
How many
How many of you want to change your heart? How many of you want to give yourself to God?
Isa sawa sa isol na tangkot
Let
tangkot ka.
Him use you.
Na isol na siya magdakchak china.
And make a change in this section, Garo section.
Ya garo section ni chikmarang tentang ani ko nang.
Everyone should see Jesus shining through our lives.
안전히 내치고는 장기상안이 치 이손이 감솔론 코 팅착치나.
Ladies, open your hearts, please.
매치그랑 나시망니 가통 코 오프라.
Let God come in.
이손 나빵치나.
You are not wicked that He cannot come in. He will come in, even though, we have lot of sins inside. He's willing to forgive.
안에 팝빵 미야 이솔랑 그러나 먹자원의 찬치양자 이솔랑 증오 나그다 생이 동이냐.
Don't come time after time to convention and not be changed. You have to be changed.
소마양 티언와 저나 생이나.
You have to be on fire. You have to be on fire for the Lord.
나 시문이 가통 이스그랑 차원이 고낭이야.
How many of you ladies? I can see some girls sitting there. How many of you want to give yourselves? Come on. Men also can stand up. Whoever wants to make a change.
Men at the back. Isang chini may asa lang ba?
All of us, it's not just the women, all of us have to make a change in Garo section.
Magic man sa bentana nang jan de ba may apa lang ba jing tengtangat tani
We need to reach out to each and every corner of this region.
Ya Garo section ni kita beliau na makata ko sengaran ang nananginga.
Shall we have a consecratory prayer by Pastor Sangma? Pradeep
Ada
Sangma?
sing consecration prayer ko sing Pastor Sangma ba bicakan nirang ko takang sekali.